This month I took an 8-day cruise to the Caribbean with my friends on the Carnival Magic. Today I will let you know how the cruise was from start to finish. Hi, my name's Travis. Welcome to my channel. Let's get right into it. On September the 1st, I went to Wyndham Gardens Hotel in Norfolk, Virginia, so that I could be closer to the cruise terminal. One of my friends came along. We wanted to be closer to the terminal because of two reasons. One, we weren't using our own cars. And number two, so that we could be in Norfolk already, considering this was Labor Day weekend and there was a lot of stuff going on in Norfolk. So we parked our vehicles at one of the cruisers that went with us' house and went on to the hotel. It was a pretty nice hotel. The meals weren't included, but overall, it was a pretty decent hotel. So on Saturday morning, September the 2nd, we got a lift to the cruise port and we arrived at the cruise port at 11:10. Our check-in time was 11:30, so we wanted to make sure we were there in enough time. And to our amazement, by 10 minutes to 12, we were on the ship. Despite everything we heard about Norfolk cruise port is a port and not a cruise terminal, which is true. They had tweaked it from last year to this year to make different modifications and making it easier for us to get on to the ship. And I was amazed. So by 12:30, we were eating on the Lido deck. Now, we didn't see the other three people. They were together somewhere else. But by the time we got down to guest services, where we had to put our money on our card, that's when we saw them. And we were all delighted to see each other because we hadn't seen each other in a few weeks. And one of the people I was actually meeting for the first time. That's one of the modifications Norfolk made before you put your money on the card in the actual terminal. And by them not doing that and having the cruise ship do it, it made people be able to get on the ship a lot faster. So way to go to Norfolk on that decision. So the Carnival Magic left Norfolk at 5:15. The waters were a little rough because Hurricane Idalia had just landed a couple days prior to that in Florida. So we were expecting it to be a little rocky. We went to dinner that evening and all of us were able to get on the same table during dinner. At first, the other three were eating at a different time than I and my friend was. So they agreed to go to 6 o'clock dining, and that way I was able to call Carnival and get them to put us all at the same table. So I was glad of that. First day we spent familiarizing ourselves with the ship. I had been on the Carnival Magic before, but since 2018, they had made some upgrades on the ship. They had put a casino for non-smoking on deck 4. That wasn't on there before. They had some little beer terminals around the ship where you can go over and have a certain kind of cup and put beer. I don't drink personally. I just noticed that was something that changed. A nice Italian restaurant was added. So I noticed a few things that was good. So on that Sunday, my three friends that were in a junior suite themselves, I didn't see during the course of the day, so I didn't pay much attention to it. I said, this is a big ship. Everybody's got their own things that they're doing. There was a lot of events going on. So I figured that I would see them, eventually. So I didn't see them. So when we got to dinner, they weren't at dinner. I was concerned then. So from that point, I went to their room and knocked on the door, only to see a room that was pretty much dark. They turned the light on and everybody in the room was sick because of the rocking of the ship. Their room happened to be at the very front of the ship. You couldn't go no further. If you're at the very front or at the very back of the ship, you were going to feel a lot that goes on with the ship in terms of rocking, things like that. And when they port and they have to let the anchors out, you'll hear all of those things by being way in the front and way in the back. And I think that was one of the reasons why they were so sick. So we found them some Dramamine from some caring passengers who happened to see them Sunday trying to actually make it to dinner. They were dressed and everything and they just couldn't make it. They went back to their rooms. So they got Dramamine and then they turned in for that night. The next day was Labor Day. They had a lot of events on the ship for military and for other people. I was in the military, so I appreciated that. They gave us some pins, had a nice little meal for us. It was very, very nice. And of course, they had the normal Labor Day parties on the Lido deck, which was great. I started seeing the three friends, and they were looking a little better and feeling a little better, which did my heart some good because I wanted them to be better, especially prior to us getting ready to get off the ship and start boarding. So our first stop was San Juan, Puerto Rico. I had been there in 2016, but as you all know, 2017 Hurricane Maria devastated San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I must say, I did not notice the difference. As a matter of fact, San Juan looked even better to me. A lot of cruise ships, a lot of other agencies, San Juan himself put a lot of money together to get that place back together. And I'm telling you, I commend everyone that participated in that, because San Juan was very beautiful like it was before, and it even looked better to me. We had a wonderful time in San Juan. We stopped at one of the restaurants. I can't remember the name of it, but they had some burrito wraps in there that were really, really good. So the next day was Amber Cove. Two of us went to the city and did some shopping. The other three had a excursion that was already booked and planned where they were in a cabana. They said they had a wonderful time. We had a wonderful time by going into the city and seeing some of the things that we saw and shopping and doing all kinds of things. And Amber Cove is always just a beautiful place. Now in Amber Cove, there are a lot of bikers, a lot of people riding motorcycles. That's their main mode of transportation in the Dominican Republic. So if you're driving there, you have to be careful because there's not a lot of stop signs, not a lot of stop lights. There's just people kind of getting to a point in the road where, are you going to go? And if they go, they let them go, and then they start going, and that's how that works. You know, but we were safe, and overall, it was a great trip. The next day, our last stop was Grand Turk, the home of Margaritaville. Now, I've been to Grand Turk before. In the last 2 times I was there, I went into the city and did shopping and seen the sights and did a lot of those things. But this time, especially since the recent passing of Jimmy Buffett, I decided that I was going to go over to Margaritaville and pay tribute to him over there and enjoy myself at the pool and things like that. My friends got in the pool, I didn't. I took plenty of pictures of them. They played the activities. We played some of the activities. We enjoyed ourselves. They played Jimmy Buffett music, of course. Rest in peace, Jimmy. And it was a nice tribute to him. So on the way back from Grand Turk, that's when we did our shopping, when we got things for ourselves, friends, families, souvenirs, you know, keychains, t-shirts, things like that. The next day, that Friday, they had a mega party on the Lido deck. And I mean, it was mega. They had all kind of lights on it. They played all kind of different type of music. They did all the slides. They did the Thriller dance. I mean, it was amazing. And to top it off, they played all different types of music at the club that evening. And we went there and had a ball, and that was the latest we stayed up. That was maybe 2:30 that night. Next day, we kind of chilled out, you know, did some of the activities they had in the daytime, made sure any of the restaurants or anything we wanted to do before we left, we got to do. Any things that we wanted to, you know, pictures we wanted to take or anything like that, we did. And I made sure I did some videos of some of the places and stuff and some of the shows and things like that. Then later on in the evening, we started preparing for our departure on Sunday. You know, we had to make sure that our luggage was packed, We only left what we were going to wear the next day. Everything else was at the front of the door so they could take it off the ship so that we could get off without our big luggage and it already be off the ship. Sunday came, 8 o'clock, we were out of the rooms. We were in the buffet eating breakfast. By 10 o'clock, we were off the ship. By 10:30, we were in a lift going to my car. And by 11:30, I was walking into my door. I just want to say, the staff on this ship was outstanding, especially in the dining room. They were amazing people. They were wonderful people. They were great workers, always had a smile, and treated us like we were kings and queens. And so did the guy that was taking care of our room. Almost every time we went out of that room and came back hours later, they had been in there and cleaned up the room. I want to say thank you guys. Carnival Magic, this was a very fun cruise. I didn't know how I would feel about going on a ship again after already being on it, but I must say, you did not disappoint. This was an excellent cruise and I would do it again. Sorry this video took so long to get out, but I had some things to do when I came back, but here it is. If you like anything I said in this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment, and until next time, the Libra Man is out.